Hello and welcome to tonight's Sketchy Live. Tonight I'll be talking about difficulties as an artist and how to overcome them, as well as illustrating the Elijah and Crumpet. Tonight I'm working on this page here where Crumpet gets a taste of riding a flying fox, overcomes his fears. This page off tonight, plus doing as much as I can do. I've only got a couple of days to get this finished, so yeah, I've got a lot going on here tonight, but yeah, welcome and hello everyone there, and I'll get into it. So we've got Crumpet coming in on the flying fox here, and if we pop into Procreate, this had to enlarge this tree here. I'm just drawing Crumpet's hands in here. He's been a bit of a cut and paste and fix up job, but that kind of works quite well for getting things done on a tight time frame. But yes, I put the question out on Instagram as to what difficulties do you have as an artist, and got a whole range of things, and I think I could safely say that I've got all those things as well. So it's good to talk about. Hey, Will Mosley on Twitch, how you doing? Good morning, my guy, watching while getting the kids ready. Cool. Yeah, well, I'm about to jump into difficulties artists have, and I've got your one first up here is consistency and perfection. And consistency is a big one for me. I found a good way to get consistent was to start scheduling these live streams, because a live stream, you've kind of got to show up, and I found that as a great kind of pressure. I mean, even though I've got the kids and what have you to get to bed and all that kind of stuff, I can always put off a live stream or whatever. But yeah, I found scheduling that live kind of locks me in and kind of helps me with that consistency. Also, having deadlines is a massive thing, because on this book, but definitely showing up every night on the live stream has definitely kept me in line with consistency. Well, Mosley, you're absolutely right. Yes, it kind of keeps you accountable. It makes you like, makes you like you've got a real job. And it's funny, I've had Rob from Elijah and Crumpet turning up to the live streams as well, who is the author of this book. And you could say he's my employer. He is my employer. He's my collaborator. But that also helps keep me consistent. With perfectionism, I think perfectionism is where the deadlines come in, because you can keep drawing and drawing and drawing, or doing whatever creative project you're working on forever, tidying up bits and pieces here and there and just making it better and better and better. But there comes a time where you've got to pull the pin and go, okay, it's done. And I think that's where perfectionism you can kind of curb that perfectionism by giving yourself those deadlines. Hey, Will Mosley, I felt a lot more clarity in last 4 a.m. Yeah, and getting up early in the morning, I find, used to be great for me. Not so much now. It just doesn't suit the kids' time frame. I'm better to work late now, instead of get up early, which doesn't really suit me. I have trouble with it. I have to drink a lot of coffee to kind of keep me up. But you know, it's a matter of just finding your groove and what works. Yeah, the deadline stuff, yeah, that definitely keeps you in line and keeps the time frame in check. I've got Crumpet coming down a flying fox here in this picture. So thanks for answering that question, Will. I also had another one here from Heartzilla Asia. Hard time deciding what I should create next, or just starting making a new one. I suppose that's kind of, you can come in, like I've kind of, on a couple of occasions when I was trying to start another book, which was about, it was another kid's book called, well, I don't have the exact title. It was about animals of the alphabet, but instead of the traditional animals of the alphabet, I was going to have like the virtually unheard of animals of the alphabet. You know, giving voice to all those animals that no one ever knows. And so I was putting polls out on Twitter, and you know, you could do it on Instagram as well, and kind of getting feedback from your community as to what they want to see you do, which is really cool, because that gives, not only gets involvement and gets people thinking about what you're doing, but it gives them a sense of ownership in the project as well, and they're more likely to show up and support you in that. So I find that's probably a good way in helping decide what you should create, is kind of look at the community. And if you don't want to do that, look at your kind of analytics, see what's done well in the past, and failing that, do what actually what inspires you from other fields like movies and stuff like that, and draw upon that and go out and get inspired again, and then come back to your work. I find that's a good way to kind of inspire work when you're not quite sure what to do. I mean, it's been easy for me because I've had these books to do. I'm just kind of, I know exactly what I have to be doing at any one time. So yeah, that definitely cuts that thing out of the equation for me. Who else had Wolf Studios say time, work-life balance, income, and why I work so hard for meager wages. Yeah, well, time is a big one. I mean, for me it's pretty big. I'm sure it's pretty big for everyone else as well. So, as you know, I'm kind of building our home at the moment, which is our Bus Millie on Instagram, and you can pop over there and see what's happening there. But so during the day I'm building our home, and at night time I'm doing the kids book, and I can only really do the kids book when the kids are asleep. So and I'm getting a lot less sleep than what I would hope. Like I'm drawing to about midnight. Kids get up somewhere between anywhere from 5:30 to 6:30, so that's not a whole lot of sleep, but that's just mainly for the creation of this book, and that's all about to change soon as well, because my wife, she is going to be going back to shift work, and our eldest daughter will be going to school, and I'll be a stay-at-home dad again with our youngest. So I'll be needing to find out the new dynamic as to kind of when or if I can go live, how the kind of day works. But I find, once again, kind of scheduling times in and sticking to that is really, or sticking to it as best as you can, is the way to kind of move forward and stay consistent. In terms of working really hard for meagre wages, I think that's an interesting one for artists, because artists tend to undervalue what they create. And the thing is, as an artist is one of those few fields where you can charge whatever you want for your work. So you get to set your own income. Obviously, if nobody buys your stuff, then you're probably going to have to reduce your prices. But you kind of get what I mean. As demand for your work builds, you can just bring the prices up to match that, to try and break that cycle of working for next to nothing. Because when you it boils down, like if I was to see what my hourly rate was for illustrating a kid's book, it would not be very much, but but it's a matter of finding out ways where you can increase that in the long run, like building up potentially a live stream audience, things like that, other things that you can add on that could bring you money in the future, is all good ways to think of increasing your value for the hours that you work. Hey, stay-at-home dad. Hey, Will Mosley. Yeah. We Bob Art on YouTube. How you doing? Hey, Andy. Hope you are doing well. The struggles of the artist. That's right, man. The struggles of the artist. And if any of you guys here want to ask me any questions as well on today's Sketchy Live topic, I suppose you'd call it, feel free to hit me up in the chat. Are you checking out for the night? Well, whether you're not checking out, you're probably just checking in. You're just beginning. You're just getting started. I know how busy you are, man. Your voice is very radio. Do you know why my voice is very radio show and calming? Because I'm in the bus. I'm in our 11-meter school bus, and I've got kids asleep in the back of a bus. I'm up the front of a bus at the steering wheel, drawing. And so if I talk too loudly, I end up waking them up. So I'm glad that it's kind of it comes through as a radio voice and not kind of some weird ASMR kind of thing going on. Yeah, so that's cool. I'm just trying to find a layer here. Let me get on to the next. Get my chat back. And get my next one up here. Prince of Cavan says, rent, getting out of bed numbers, rent, keeping my clothes clean, food, art supplies, rent. So yeah, that's all difficulties. This is the life of creatives with kids, that's right, Will. And you know, trying to keep the money coming in definitely is you know, a difficulty. It's good to have, like, find a way that you can have a steady income, however you get that. I had it before with my lawn mowing, and that was my steady income, you know. It allowed me to do other stuff, so I knew that the rent was paid and I didn't have to. I think as soon as you're relying on your art to make enough money so you can pay the rent, I think that's a very dangerous way to kind of live, because, you know, what if you can't sell your art? And nothing worse than being desperate. People can sense the desperation and people don't like desperation. So it's good to kind of have your bills covered somehow, whether you're doing lawn mowing business or whatever, which is what I'm doing. And I'm kind of going to be stay-at-home dadding while my wife is working shift work. So that's coming up in the next little while. Now I'm just working out. So this one, I'm going to bring behind the hand. There we go. That kind of sits in there. Like so. So I'm going to have to go and find myself an Elijah. That is true. Thanks. Have you here on Twitch, and also Wee Bob. It's awesome having you guys on the stream. Art Moel Mooney. Constantly adapting styles. Feels as though I've lost my voice, but it's also great. Yeah, I suppose that is. And Will Mosley says, I honestly think stay-at-home parents have 10 times the responsibilities. It certainly feels like it sometimes. So here is where I have got recycling some of my old illustrations for the new kids' books. Hey, Will Mosley, I don't know why people downcast stay-at-home parents. Yeah, it is a job. I mean, like, because if that person who was going out and making the money didn't have the stay-at-home parent, they wouldn't be able to go out and make the money. So, like, it's a job, you know, and an important one. So I need Elijah cheering on Crumpet. Now, I think it might be something like that, but I think I've got another one. I think I have another one where we going through the Adobe Draw archives is a mess. There doesn't seem to be any real good way to categorize and file. So it's just by order of, you know, when I've opened the document, and that is a real pain. That is the one I'm thinking of. Might be able to do a flip and change the arms a bit, because I think that's the one where they're cheering and they're all together, and they're lifting Crumpet up. I think that's the one I'm going to go with. So we'll go in there, save it as an image, and then I'll get to that from Procreate. So just doing a few technical things here, and I'll get back into the combo. Insert photo, got maximum layers. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and merge some of these down while keeping a close eye on everything to make sure I don't ruin anything. Merge down, merging down. That looks like that's cool. I spoke there and thought, shh, quiet. Bob's thinking, you could hear me, lol. Cool. And how's things with you, Bob? Are you in Scotland? Is that right? Now I go to add, insert a photo. Gonna go with this one, and look, we have giant Elijah. Gonna have Elijah down here. We're gonna flip him and put a scout uniform on him. Whether that's gonna happen before the end of my hour live stream, trying to keep the live streams to about an hour, because I'm all on data, trying to go live every night, and that way I need to keep it all to a kind of a minimum. I can't let it blow out. Wee Bob out. Yes, Scotland here. Things are good for me, but my day job is engineering. Caught one of your streams. Hey, Elijah and Crumpet. I didn't think you were on tonight. Oh, yeah, but no, Rob, that was last night. So yes, hey, Rob from Elijah and Crumpet is in the live stream, the author of Super Scout. So that's really cool. And Rob, we also have Will Mosley in the Twitch comment stream as well. So that's super cool. Now, super cool for Super Scout. I'm just doing the Flying Fox here. Talking about difficulties of artists, Rob. Difficulties artists can have. And I just had that question out on Instagram. And Stands and Fine says, after putting in hours of work, it still doesn't get deserved appreciation. It hurts. Yeah, it can be a pain, but I suppose in the end, you've got to just be doing it for yourself, and not for likes or what have you. I mean, it is nice to have people to get the deserved recognition for your work, but you know, back before the days of social media, you'd just kind of show it to a family member or whatever, and they'd go, oh yeah, that's alright, yeah, oh, it's a little bit better than before, yeah, no worries, you're coming along. So I think it's amazing that we're able to share our work. Now that selection tool, I was at Edinburgh Uni, Bob, that's Rob from Elijah and Crumpet. The black flag was a Scottish flag. That black flag was a Scottish flag. Okay. Very interesting. I am trying to flip Elijah's hair if the selection tool will let me. I've got to flip another hairdo on another page. Rob, who's an extremely good editor, picked that up. I'd have to flip that again. So, you know, I think you have to do it for yourself. It's great to get the deserved appreciation. But I also think on the other side of that is, if you're putting in a lot of work and you're posting it, you need to put in some time to work out how to optimize what you're putting out there. Like if you're putting out YouTube videos or you're putting up Instagram, you need to kind of do some research as to how you can make sure that people will actually see it. Otherwise, just putting it out there, people aren't going to magically find it. Like, all of these channels tend to bury stuff unless you pay for it, especially Facebook. So you need to work out kind of what platform is for you, whether you want to spend any money getting exposure, whether you want to try and do it organically for free. So I think if you're going to put in the hard work, creating the work, you need to put in the hard work actually getting it noticed as well. If you feel a bit disappointed when it's just not getting the work, getting the eyeballs that you were hoping for after all your hard work. Hey, Will Mosley, I don't really do art for dollars anymore. It's nice if someone needs a project from me, but I prefer to create. Hey, Will Mosley, you can kill your passion if you're just doing it for the dollars. Yeah, that's true. And Wee Bob Art is having a chat with Elijah. Nice, Elijah. I used to work with Edinburgh Uni on product development many moons ago, just back from Jacobite train at Fort William, aka Harry Potter train. Oh, cool. It was a great trip for my kids. Lol, no worries on the evening. Will Mosley saying yes, it's a balance. Yeah, it totally is. And speaking of balance, I'm pretty happy with that hair flip. I just need to do a few obvious changes in there. And Sketchy Guru from New Zealand says, yes, finding time, ha ha ha. And that is definitely an issue. And even harder when you're a parent, finding time. But you usually can find time. I mean, last night, because I messaged you last night, Rob, that we've had some friends coming over, and they were 3 kids having a sleepover on the bus with our 2 kids. And as you can imagine, doing a live stream with 5 kids on the bus and 3 adults is not really going to happen. So yeah, last night live stream didn't go ahead for that reason. Hey, Will Moses says, do something to pay the bills, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be your passion, and make time for yourself every day on your art. One up yourself each piece. Yeah, that's good. Now, Will Mosley is always full of golden tips and tricks for social media content creation. So anyone watching on the replay, and just go and check out Will's stuff, because he's everywhere on social media. And well worth checking out. Podcast, YouTube, TikTok, he's everywhere. Elijah and Crumpet, did you get any sleep or sleepover? No, it was a bit crazy, really. There was a few kids upset with, or just excited, you know. I just get excited. And excitement turns to tears. But essentially they had a good time. Now I'm going to have to find the right brush for that shadow because that's not really working. And I'm going to bring Elijah's arm down. And start to draw out a uniform here for Elijah. Merge that one down onto here. And see what we've got here next. The moose with booze says definitely consistency. And as I said before, the major thing which has kept me consistent is setting the live stream up and committing to the live stream almost every night. Not every night, haven't managed to get every night. Yeah, and also having Rob, the author of Super Scout, coming along for the ride, cheering me on, and we're getting the project done. I mean, it's pretty amazing to be able to have a collaboration where the author can join up with the illustrator every night during the creation of a book, and you know, can just be sharing that with the world, recording it forever, all that kind of stuff. It's just super cool. It's just amazing to be able to do that. I think I've missed a few comments here. We were feel the pain. It was chucking down in the rain. We were camping at Glen Nevis camping. My house looks like. Trying the wallpaper. Tents trying to drive them out. Okay. Well, we're actually the bus we're converting is actually our home now, because we're insane. No, we're not insane. We're more sane than we've ever been. We're totally sane. I think I might have to go for a technical pen here. It's just not getting the fine detail I want. Oh, we've got a question from Haywell Mosley. Yes. Haywell Mosley says, what is the 5 to 10 apps do you find yourself using every day? Well, to start off with, I have Procreate on my iPad and on my phone. And I'm finding that Procreate on the iPad is kind of good for the big layouts and stuff. Having Procreate on my phone is good for, like, if I'm out and about, I can draw a character or something like that, and then I can bring it in. Then I can bring it across when I'm having a drawing session. So it's a publisher boycott, cutting out the middleman. Yeah. Procreate is a big one. I also finding that Google Drive is a big one for me, because that's how we're sharing the files between me and Rob from Elijah and Crumpet, and Rob can make notes on pages that I've drawn, and it's a good just kind of file sharing thing. And also the great thing with Procreate is you can bring across, so I can bring across a image like this with all its layers into Google Drive, and it will preserve all the layers, and then like it's, you know, it hasn't been flattened or anything like that. The whole thing's been preserved. So Google Drive is a massive one. And then all the social media channels that I use, like YouTube Studio, Instagram. I use iMovie on my phone to edit my videos. It's pretty basic, but it does the job. And that's it. That's pretty much it for social media. So like, yeah, the editing is on iMovie. I use PixArt for doing stuff like thumbnails, where you just Photoshoppy type stuff without having to pay for massive Photoshop fees. And so yeah, what iPad do I have? I have an 8th generation iPad, and yeah, I won it, or my wife won it, which is pretty cool, on Facebook. So I'm roughly getting that out. Hope that answers your question, Will. That's pretty much the 10 that I use. Adi Morbid says, trying to make original content is something that he has difficulty with. And I totally get that, and I kind of get as well that there's really no such thing as wholly original content, I don't think. Because I think I've heard a few people talk about stealing like an artist, and stealing like an artist doesn't mean going and ripping off somebody's work. It means taking from artists that you really like their work and using it as inspiration for your work. So really, what you're creating is just kind of like a jukebox of all your favourite stuff. That's kind of what your art becomes. So that's kind of my opinion. So art never really is truly wholly original anyway. Is that a larger screen? No, it's the same screen as before. Maybe I'm just zoomed in a bit more. Yeah, not sure what I'm going to do with that other arm, but I'll put that on later. I'll come in and hey, Will Mosley, I find the computer for Final Cut Pro X, Illustrator, Atom Code, and Safari. Okay, that's Vic. apps that you use. Yeah, cool. So here we're going to go in with the calligraphy monoline big brush, just to take out all that all this stuff here, so then we can start creating, turning Motivate Man into Super Scout basically, and then merging the two together. And it definitely helps using elements of the original drawings. Kind of gives you a guide to start with. Hey, Will Mosley says, for my phone, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Photos app, I do have all the others on there, but those are the main ones. Roku too. What is Roku? I don't know what Roku is, Will Mosley. Oh, it's funny how I say Will Mosley every time. Will. And Snapchat. Never been able to work out Snapchat. I don't know. Do you think Snapchat would be worth my while, Will? I just look at it and go, what is this thing? So yeah, I think Quentin Tarantino is the obvious person that comes to mind when talking about stealing like an artist, because if you know anything about movies, his movies are constantly paying homage and ripping off and all that, his favourite movies. So I'm going to make this one lighter, and then I'll go in with a proper line here. I love how you have a character outline that can be layered. Roku was just a popular TV remote app in the US. Okay. Yeah, so now I'll go in, and if I've got any layers left, yes I do. Yeah, Will is fine too. At least I don't refer to you as Hey Will Mosley all the time. But I think that's a good way to check into your live streams, is to say Hey Will Mosley. Yeah. Oh, we've had that one. So we got our last one here. Finding a balance between mum life and creating without sacrificing too much for much needed sleep. Yes, definitely sleep. That is a thing. Haven't been getting much of it. But you know, this is a project that has a end point, end of a month. I'm working on the day. So do what you got to do when you do it, but definitely preserving sleep is something worthwhile. Are you going to have both arms up? If so, can you just do the right one and copy and paste? Frank and Elijah. Yep. Yeah, we can do both arms up. Good point, Rob. Very good point. So, good idea. If you're happy with both arms up, that's what I was. Well, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do for a minute, to be honest. But that is a brilliant suggestion and a time-saving suggestion. I'll be showing how I use Snapchat in the next week. I haven't seen. There's been a few times where I thought I need to have a look into Snapchat, and I haven't been able to find anything really good online that suggests how you would actually use it as a creator, kind of promoting your stuff. Now, this is all wrong here. I've got to do some work in here. His arm has got to go straight across. Like so. Get some big Schwarzenegger muscles going on here. And then I can get that. Like so. But then I gotta fix that, otherwise he's got droopy down arms. So, and coming in here from the top, give me a cuff like that. We'll keep mucking around with that, manipulating that, see how it comes out in the end. What I could do as well, just to make it a little less confusing, is take out some of the background layers. And sleep, if you neglect sleep, everything becomes difficult then, Now I'm including a little bit of the scarf, which just kind of pokes out here, because Elijah is very zoomed in here. It's quite pixely, but as you'll see when I zoom back out, it kind of makes sense, because he's quite small. He's cheering on Crumpet, being brave on the flying fox, so both arms up is good. Yeah, it's kind of like saying, hey. And that's funny, we've got a bit of tree there. I've had to make this foreground tree rob really big to get Crumpet off the ground enough. So yes, thanks Nomad Kylie on Instagram for that one. So yeah, I've been putting out questions on Instagram. It's been fun actually. It's been surprising as well how much. I'll call this one the sketchy background. It's amazing how much, if you just like basically cold call an artist, cold DM them and link them to your question on stories, how they're willing to give you an answer. And it's good at creating a bit of community on Instagram, because it's really finding the community aspect of Instagram been dramatically reduced lately. So it's good to kind of just reach out to other artists. So now, can I merge anything down here? I can merge the trees and have them on the same layer. That gives me another layer here to play with while I'm drawing Elijah. So I normally like to have 2 layers, but I can kind of do 2 lines going that way, then I can have another line going that way, and then I can come back and just kind of tidy up with the eraser. Oops. Kind of makes life a little bit easier. And then we do the scarf. Start down on that layer. And then go in with the central one like so. And get wobble going on here. So Will, if you're still on the live, are you how often are you going live on Twitch with your little segments? I've been kind of behind the scenes kind of things I've been seeing. Because they look really cool, just seeing how you do stuff behind the scenes. Really need to get myself another new stylus. I've been going through the styluses. Shorts. Yeah, I think Will Mosley might be off of the live. See, there I go again, calling him Will Mosley. I can't help myself. And little pocket bits. Merge all that down. Another layer for the legs. So I think all of those responses I've got about difficulties as an artist, like, I think I've had them all, and I think probably all artists tend to have them all. It's not uncommon, you know. I think all those difficulties there are answers for and ways through them, like most things. Looks like I'm trying to make that perspective. The perspective is looking kind of wrong. His shoes are really front on shoes. And that one, here is the one. It might be a case of if I'm fussing around with them too much, I might just get some other front on shoes that I've done. But I've managed to nail elsewhere. It's quite difficult drawing small. I should have maybe drawn him out of this page and then brought it in, but it'll work either way. Merge those down to there. Bring my head and hand up to there. Merge that down. So that there one, I can erase the sketchy background like so. Then I can select skin color and fill in here if there's not too many gaps. And then I can kind of do my Frankenstein trick. And merge the elements and stitch them together. It kind of works. I'll go along and I'll go and do all my edges. At the end, I'll go around and redo those at the end. Now I'm going into, I've got my Scout color palette here. The blue is the blue of a shirt. Bringing that into here. Getting color selection up so it's as full as can be. And going the yellow for the collar. Like so. I need to add the blue bit. This page is actually quite small on the page, but it kind of, it works with this one. With a lot of the other ones, I've kind of enlarged them. But, yeah. Now, we want some Scout color. Scout color, short color. Like so. Like so. It's weird how it's become a thing that I say. Like so. Was that Professor Julius Thundermiller? can tell what era I came from. I'm going to go behind Crumpet to Elijah to fill those laces in here in Pixel Town. Goofing one alone, small. And for the scarf, we have the maroon. Must be on the wrong layer. Yep. I had been getting better at that. And I'll go into these bits up here. Hey Will Mosley, gotta head out, but you're awesome, my man. Thank you very much. See you later, Andy. Yes, thanks so much, Will, for dropping by. And do you want to drop your Twitch channel in the stream if you've got time? I can direct people to what you're up to. Although I can't make you a moderator. If you're on YouTube, could make you a moderator and you could drop your link in. I don't think you can drop your link in from Twitch. I'm not sure. Anyhow, thanks so much for joining us. And yeah, we've just hit the hour mark, so we're about to check out here. You'll be able to see the full Elijah and Crumpet on the Flying Fox. Socks, yes. Socks, I won't forget the socks, but thank you for reminding me. I keep you on your toes, don't I, Rob? Let's see. And so this was, before I head out, this was the bathroom one. Just wanted to check whether you're kind of cool with that as it stands. If I get a chance to go back in, yeah, I see your monkey face here. Is there something I need to notice? This is a bathroom scene, so I've added those text bubbles, and got this kind of more handwritten style for the speech bubbles. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We'll probably, hopefully get enough time to do a bit more lighting on this. But, yeah, no, I've taken note of the socks, Rob. Socks is all good. So, what else have we got? So, yeah, we had the Tasmanian tiger. Where are we? If it's easier if we do it like that. Tasmanian tiger. But I think, you made a few notes about a couple of things. But that one and this one on its way. We do have one with the tents going up, which was before this one. Haven't started it yet because I'd already kind of made a start on that one by mistake. So I just thought I'd continue going through with that. So, thank you, Will Mosley, Wee Bob, Rob from Elijah and Crumpet dropping in as well. It's great to have. It's very exciting. Doing the live stream makes it a lot more entertaining. Great to chat to everyone. So, yeah, catch you tomorrow night, everybody. Check you later.